I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm reviewing Captain Flip from Playpunk. Captain Flip is a 20-minute, easy-to-play gateway game of grabbing tiles, choosing whether to flip them, placing them onto your pirate ship, and then scoring it all up. The main appeal of this game is how simple and easy it is to play, playing in 20 minutes and just giving you a fun, semi-push-your-luck kind of experience. The general idea of the game is you're going to start by picking your pirate ship. I'm going to show you the others soon, but this is a default starting pirate ship. You pick a pirate ship, and then each player takes their pirate ship, places it in front of them. No one gets the map to start. That's going to have to be fought over. On your turn, you draw a tile from the bag, you look at it, and then you choose to either place this tile onto your board, starting from the bottom, working your way up, or if you don't like what you see, you can flip it. But once you flip it, you're locked in, and I like this tile. It's a great starting tile. So we're going to choose this tile right now. I'm going to place it in this column because I want to work my way towards the map. The next player takes their turn, back to me, I grab another tile, I pull it out, and I see this over here. This one over here is going to give me 4 points at the end of the game if there's nothing on top of it. The problem is, there's no row that I want to lock off just yet. Now, I could choose to place it somewhere over here where it won't get too much in the way, but I'm going to choose to flip it and see what we got. That's not the best. That's going to give us 2 points right now per cartographer, but we don't have any cartographers. So I'm going to once again work my way towards that. You know what? I'm going to place this over here and hope that I can flip it later. There's lots of things that let you flip tiles later. Well, not lots of things. This is a monkey. Your monkey lets you flip things later. I'm going to draw another tile, placing it out. Look at that. I got a parrot over here. Parrot lets me draw another tile. That could be useful. In fact, I'm going to do that because I'm working my way towards the map right now. We're going to immediately draw another tile, but we will lose a point at the end of the game, but it does help us fill things up faster, and we can always flip it later. Look at that. We got our cartographer. Now, this is interesting because I'm about to try to get the map anyway, but I do like getting cartographers early because they help me out here. So I think I'm going to save that for later, place this over here, and take the map. This map goes in front of me now, and at the end of each of my turns, I'm going to immediately get a coin. So that's going to help me until someone else steals the map. I'm going to go again. Keep in mind I'm playing the solo over here, which is not really the way you play, but you'll get a sense of how to play. I draw another tile, and this one wants to be rewarded for being on top of something else. Again, I am trying to flip this later, so I think I'm going to flip this now, and I got another parrot. I'm going to work my way up to try to work my way up in that column and draw another tile, because again, you only do one side over here. Now this one is going to give me a point for every character in its row. So I could place it down here like this and just get 3 points, but I'm really trying to work my way towards more of these guys over here, more of the swabbies, and that's not a swabby. I could place it over here. Honestly, this is the worst. This is the worst. We're going to place this down. You know what? We're just going to place this over here, get the 4 points, and we're not going to bother trying to flip the navigator. Then we're going to draw another tile, and we got another one of these, which again can help me, but I already have this, which makes sense. I'm playing it solo. No one's going to take it from me. So we're going to flip it, and we got 3 points as long as there's no gunner in the row or column. We'll place this down here because I feel that right now the only places that can stop that would be those two, which feels like a safe bet over here. Now you're going to continue to do this. I'll draw one last one, another 3 points. I'm going to flip this one, and we got that. Ooh, I'm going to get 4 coins right now. Keeping in mind, by the way, I should have been taking coins this entire time at the end of each of my turns, but again, I'm just trying to show you how to play. That's the basic idea of the game. You have this sheet, this player aid, that gives you all the various characters there are in the game. There's only 9 characters, so it's kind of predictable as far as the various options you have. You are trying to fill your board. Once any player fills 4 of their 5 columns, that will trigger game end, and then you go ahead and add up all the game end stuff. In general, when you're looking at a character, a yellow box on the left means it happens right now, and a gray box on the right means it happens at the end of the game, which also means if you flip something, then it won't necessarily resolve to penalize you. So if I flip one of these parrots, I can go ahead and see what comes there and hopefully not lose that -1 point. Even if I gain nothing, at least I don't lose that -1 point. Whenever you complete a column with something at the top, you get that thing. So 3 points, 5 points, or getting the navigator's map over there, the treasure map. And that's basically all you need to know to play Captain Flip. The only other thing there is there's a few more maps. We have these maps over here. So there's a total of 4 different maps. They're double-sided on each one. But effectively, you have this one over here, this giant tentacle over here. We have this kind of abandoned little life raft. And then we have this island. So you have different maps to place your things on, but that's the core idea. It doesn't massively change the structure. Small little differences to the experience, just to mix it up a little bit on top of the characters you have. That's Captain Flip. Draw a tile, choose whether to flip it or not, hence the name of the game, and then at the end of the game, score up all your points and see who did better in Captain Flip. And with that, let's go into my review of, well, I'm just going to jump into the review. I'm not going to do the whole what I like, don't like, conceal as not liking. I'm just going to give you my general thoughts on the game because I think Captain Flip is charming. I heard a lot about this game when it was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres, and I never really played it at the time. It definitely seemed like it was on the lighter side. It's coming in at a 7.1 on BGG as of me filming this video right now. And lighter games, I think they have their audience, they have their appeal, but I'm not always as charmed by them. I find that even if I do keep them, they often don't last as long in my collection. And we'll see how this one does, but eventually I did get a chance to play it on Board Game Arena. I like using Board Game Arena to try out new random games here and there, and lots of times I play them and I'm like, that's good, and move on with my life, and other times I'm like, that was really fun and I want to play those games. To that end, Captain Flip is one of those games that when I did play on Board Game Arena, I found it so easy and simple to play through that it does have a place for me. Meaning it's one of those games that it's not super deep. This is a lighter game. Rating-wise, I'll say this again in final thoughts, but rating-wise, I'm coming in at a 3.5 out of 5, which matches that 7.1 rating on BGG. Like, I do think it's a good game, it's a fun game, but it's not a knock your socks off kind of game. But it's kind of addicting to play through, and it plays in 20 minutes, and it plays well with, you know, full-on gamers who are looking for a filler experience, and it also plays well with families, and as someone who has 4 kids that like playing board games, this is the kind of simple, fast fun that you can easily pick up. I also think it's easily expandable in the future. I assume it did well enough that I assume they'll have expansion content, more characters, things like that, to give a little bit more depth to the experience if you're looking for it, while still being very much a light filler game. So, like, to me, this is one that I think if you're looking for something that is fast and fun and it's just a good 20 minutes of game time when you're looking for something that does that, I think this is a good game. The maps give you just enough variability to give you a little bit more game out of it, but they don't super shift up the experience. The experience is pretty simple. You draw a tile, you place a tile, or you flip and place a tile, and you're just making those decisions based on what's currently on your board, what you've seen enter the board. So like, oh, there's a few less of those swabbies, so I'm less likely to get those 25 points. By the way, when you do get those 25 points, it is so satisfying. Swabbies give you points depending on how many different rows in your ship, how many columns have a swabby. So if you can get all 5 columns, you get 25 points, which is massively, it's fun. It's just fun to get those 25 points. Overall, this is fun, this is light, it is not going to win any awards for the strategic mastery of the year, but it certainly has won. I think it won. I can't remember if it won or got nominated, but it either got nominated or won awards for being accessible, for being easy to play, accessible, short, and all of that. So in that sense, I think it's doing a really good job. As far as final thoughts on it, like I said earlier, it's a 3.5 out of 5 for me. It does what it's trying to do really well. It's a great gateway game, it's a great family game, and it's not a bad filler game either. As far as other game recommendations, this kind of gave me a little bit of vibes of Loot. It's like Loot, but with like multiple O's. Loot. I think Loot was also a fun experience. I think Loot suffers from being a little longer and more in depth while also being similar in the weight class, but that means this one's a little bit easier to table. But if you like this kind of experience, I think Loot is a fun time. And if you like that draw and play experience that you get out of this game, but with more depth behind it without being super in depth, check out Carcassonne. Carcassonne also has that similar, you draw something, you place it, it has that kind of fun of the experience, but you're building something collaboratively. It's a competitive game, but you're working on a shared landscape, and it is one of those games that you can play on a lighter level as you just play to have fun, as you build castles, roads, and cathedrals and all that, or you can play it in a very cutthroat level, depending on who you are playing it with. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you found this review helpful, and as always, I hope you have a good one.